one of the things that we did once we started to bring on more and more clients, a lot of the conversations that B and I were having were coming from more of a strategic standpoint. It's almost easier to work with a client who doesn't have anything set up or doesn't have any sort of infrastructure, as opposed to one who kind of has 4 or 5 different systems and then trying to make sense of the thing that they're utilizing to get out information. So I think, and Kelsey spoke on this earlier, a lot of how we build strategies with clients include like the research and the auditing of their marketing, but it's auditing like their system and the infrastructure behind what pushes out their narratives and their messaging. And so a lot of times we get dropped in the middle of a lot of stuff that we have to sift through. And I know we've all been a part of that process where it's just like, yo, what's happening? What's happening with this right now? But in many cases, it's just easier to start from scratch and say, hey, this is the playbook. This is the Bible right now. This is where you house your calendar. This is where you house content that needs to be reviewed and approved. This is how you house the stuff that's already been published. Like there's a whole system and a process that we take that we try to build out. So I'd be curious to know, with that, how that has either helped you all. Because I think once we kind of build out that baseline thing, then you all will come in and you will add your own touches to it so that it fits how you also do things.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I feel like the systems and the structure has to also balance with like the free-flowing creativity that you need to actually do the thing you do well. But they go hand in hand. So like, Brandy mentioned on a previous episode, like you have to change how you work in order to grow, but it's also hard if your brain, you do your best thinking in a certain way, or you come up with your best ideas, in this random sporadic like doc that nobody gets but you. Right. But it's also like, okay, now you have to figure out how to systemize that. And I don't know, I think it's interesting when you're working with companies and you're trying to help them when it's not even your brain, but you're trying to help other people figure out how to balance that. How have you dealt with balancing creativity and efficiency?
That's a great question. And sorry, what I really want to bring up is the structures that Valentina actually has made that has been very consistent. And what I can appreciate is one of our clients actually tried bringing in their way of doing things. And we all looked at it and we were just like, why would we do it that way? Like it actually just doesn't make sense, because the way we have it structured makes the most sense to everyone on the team. It's easily consumable. And obviously it took some work to get to where it is now, but being able to look at that, I don't even think it like disrupts any flow of creativity because of how efficient it is. Mm-hmm. So when we go back to the strategy and structures, we obviously didn't have this in place when we first started. It was we had to build to it. And the question that I asked you earlier, I wanted to know how hard it was in the beginning compared to now, because I want companies out there to understand you're not just bringing us on because we do great work. We're efficient with it. We have structures in place to make sure that what we're doing makes sense for not only you guys, but for us. The communication is clear. The deliverables are clear. The calendar is clear. We know who's going to be where at what time, and this is what they're doing. So like operations, like I would argue that strategy should be at the forefront of every single brands or businesses, like I would not top funnel, but like mindset.